Hello friends, welcome back to Hyrule Tours. In this series we take an in-depth look at specific areas in Hyrule. Today I am fortunate enough to be joined by the Glukester himself, HylianLuke.
Hey, what's going on everybody? It's HylianLuke, and I just want to say real quick thank you to Cap Bergerson for allowing me to be on this episode of Hyrule Tours. It's going to be a lot of fun, and we're excited. Let's get into it.
And with that, let's look at today's tourist destination, West Necluda. Let's hop into it. Necluda is one of the game's largest provinces and is packed with so many notable and interesting locations that I felt it best to separate it between its eastern and western halves. It contains crucial story locations and is usually one of the first areas that players visit after leaving the Great Plateau. Combined with all of that and its fascinating landmarks and geography, it makes for one of Hyrule's most interesting provinces to explore. As usual, Necluda can technically be entered from any number of directions, but because of its importance to the story, most players will probably first enter the region by crossing the Proxim Bridge after first leaving the Great Plateau. This path will most definitely lead you towards the massive Duelling Peaks. While many may walk right past it without realizing, Deya Lake, which contains the ruins of Deya Village, is right to the south of here. The lake and ruins are surrounded on all sides by the hills of Baumer. The scars left from the calamity are ever present here, an entire town leveled and left to rot. While the structures here contain lots of goods to find, left from when the village was full of life, travelers here should still be wary as the lake is patrolled by Lizalfos, the occasional bokoblin, and is even home to a stone talus.
If you're headed into Necluda from central Hyrule, however, you may find yourself crossing either Olin or Horwell Bridge and passing through the woods surrounding Batrea Lake. These woods are rich in a variety of mushrooms that you can collect. A small enemy camp is found at the end of this small lake as well. Though it may seem like a peaceful enough area, these dense woods are home to a decent population of Octoroks who take full advantage of the foliage to hide and surprise oncoming threats.
Meanwhile, the path from Proxim Bridge towards the Dueling Peaks is dotted with enemy camps where bokoblins hang out, but the path is still worth following in order to activate the region's tower. The Dueling Peaks are one of Hyrule's most famous landmarks. Legends tell of a great dragon carving the split in the mountain ages ago. Through here runs the Squabble River, which is rich with fish, but also home to some aquatic enemies, such as the Lizalfos and Octoroks. The insides of the stone peaks are rich with minerals and resources to collect. You can find swaths of ore all along its various cliffs, as well as not one, not two, but 3 ancient Sheikah shrines. Reaching the top of these peaks won't be easy, as their slopes are incredibly steep. They are also home to twin stone taluses that live on either side. The more eventful half would be the northern side of this mountain, which has its own set of boko camps, plenty of trees, and what appears to be an abandoned home near its peak, nestled safely on the side of the mountain.
Emerging between the Dueling Peaks, we'll find the Little and Big twin bridges, and the Dueling Peaks stable at the foot of the mountains. This stable serves as a resting point for travelers headed in any direction across the sprawling Blatchery Plain. Rumors of the great bandit Misko's treasure are whispered among explorers here. If we follow the path down from the Little Twin Bridge and into the Hickaly Woods, we just may find the solution to this riddle tucked at the top of this waterfall. But travelers should exercise caution in these woods, lest they come face to face with bears, or worse, a Stelnox which lurks here in the night.
The Blatchery Plain was once the site of a great battle, the toll of which is still seen here today. Fort Hateno separates this plain from East Necluda and served as a vital choke point in this conflict, which prevented the province from being completely overrun by the terrifying Guardians. Now the plain is littered with ancient guardians, seemingly inactive and being overgrown. The ash swamp, which sits squarely in the middle of this plain, holds a particularly high concentration of these remains. Though this was the home of these tragic events, this plain is a relatively peaceful area now, and is home to many wild horses, now roaming freely about. The plain is a beautiful sight, despite the scars it bears. Heading north from the stables, we'll find Kakariko Bridge, which spans the calm Lake Ciela.
The road past this bridge takes us through a narrow pass between the looming pillars of Levia and Bunaro's stand. These high cliffs serve as a natural barrier to protect one of Necluda's safe havens, Kakariko Village.
This Sheikah village is nestled safely here, having been spared from the disasters of the calamity. Culturally speaking, until now, the Sheikah have been somewhat of an enigma. The residents of Kakariko, however, choose to live a peaceful, rural life. Despite its relatively small size, Kakariko still manages to have a bustling livelihood, and a variety of shops and homes line the paths.
You can take time to browse the selection of clothes at Enchanted, a shop run by Clary who designs special armor optimized for stealth. Meanwhile, High Spirits offers a variety of produce, including carrots grown by the shopkeeper's husband. At the end of town is Lantern Lake, where a cascade of waterfalls overlooks the home of the tribe's leader, the Wise Impa.
If you follow the path up the hill on the northern side of the village and past the Ta Lo Nag Shrine, you'll find yourself at the Great Fairy Fountain, which is home to the Great Fairy Kotera. Hidden further across a small bridge is the Lakna Roki Shrine. A small path off the village will bring us to this small meadow, which gives a wonderful view of the Lanayru wetlands and central Hyrule.
One final tourist destination to visit today are the Cliffs of Quince. These cliffs sit at the border of the two halves of Necluda and feature a unique geological structure.
There's still plenty to explore in West Necluda, including the Sahasra Slopes, Mabel Ridge, and the waterfalls and cliffs on the southern side of Hylian Highlands, which feed into Lake Ciela. As always, the final thing I'd like to leave you with today are some of the beautiful views that this region has to offer. Enjoy! Hi everybody, thank you so much for tuning into this video. Make sure to check out the others in the series if you enjoyed this one. I'd also like to take a moment to shout out to my patrons, especially those who decided to support on the cheese tier or higher, which includes Callie, Brenda, Tetra, and Finley. Thank you guys so much. Also a big shout out to both HylianLuke for joining me on this video and RMFH for helping provide some of the footage captured.
Hey guys, thank you all so much for watching the video. Be sure to check out my channel, HylianLuke, and I also have a secondary channel called the Glukester. Once again, thank you Daniel for having me on. It was a pleasure, as always.
Thank you so much, you guys. I love you, and I will catch you next time.